Hello, I'm the Doctor. Welcome to DoctorGeek. Today, we're having a Doctor Who discussion. The topic, the Doctor Who TV movie. After the 26th season of Doctor Who ended in 1989, with the 7th Doctor and his companion Ace walking back to the TARDIS, Doctor Who was put on a hiatus that it would endure for 16 years until its reboot in 2005 with the 9th Doctor. During these wilderness years, Doctor Who continued to live on with its fans through conventions, as well as through its novels and comics that were still being produced. Due to this still very involved fan base, interest began to develop in bringing the show back, but for American audiences, and the relatively new Fox network ordered a TV movie to be made, with an option for a full series should the movie do well. As a result, Paul McGann was introduced as the 8th Doctor in 1996.
It was on the planet Skaro that my old enemy, the Master, was finally put on trial.
While the movie has its flaws, namely continuity errors in the Doctor's history and overall backstory, as well as one of the more bizarre portrayals of the Master, overall, it is a pretty enjoyable Doctor Who adventure.
Doctor, look out! I only have one life! Can you remember that?
I'll try! One of the most crucial details about the movie is that it opens with the 7th Doctor, reintroducing him 7 years after his last appearance in season 26, before showing us his final steps outside of the TARDIS. It's this detail that cemented the movie as canon in Doctor Who's long legacy. In 90 minutes, the movie manages to reintroduce the 7th Doctor, show the first regeneration in nearly a decade, introduce us to the 8th Doctor, who's dealing with some post-regeneration side effects for a good deal of the movie, reintroduce the Master, and then feature an epic face-off in the TARDIS around the oft-mentioned Eye of Harmony.
I shall prove to you the Eye of Harmony is open. Look at this. Already the molecular structure of the planet is changing. First in subtle ways, but soon in catastrophic ways.
Paul McGann shows off his amazing acting skills as he brings a quality to the Doctor that's almost mesmerizing. And it's really a shame that while the show did very well in the UK, its US numbers were not impressive, and the show was not picked up.
Still fibrillating badly.
No, I'm not.
I remember, I was with Puccini before he died.
Name drop.
I was.
Oh my God.
You see, that's no echo. It was so sad.
You have 2 hearts. Who are you?
I was dead too long this time. The anesthetic almost destroyed the regenerative process.
Ultimately, the show not getting picked up was probably a blessing for Doctor Who, as if the show had been made, we would not have gotten the 2005 reboot that has done such a great job of keeping the show close to its classic roots. Instead, we probably would have gotten a weird American version that likely would have failed. Luckily, however, in 1998, a company named Big Finish decided that they wanted to produce audio stories about Doctor Who, and later, with permission from the BBC, they began making new Doctor Who audio adventures with the original cast of the 5th, 6th, and 7th Doctors. Even more exciting was that they allowed Paul McGann to continue his portrayal of the 8th Doctor, giving him his own range of stories that have seen the 8th Doctor go on over 100 adventures. And honestly, it's some of the best Doctor Who out there. When Doctor Who came back in 2005, there was some confusion as to if Christopher Eccleston's Doctor was the 8th Doctor or the 9th Doctor, as many people did not consider the TV movie to be canon to the original TV show. In fact, even showrunner Russell T Davies had written this line into one of his previous TV shows, Queer as Folk.
Given 6 months, you'll be able to name all the Doctor Who's in order.
What about Paul McGann?
Paul McGann doesn't count.
so you can understand people's confusion. But sure enough, it has now been confirmed multiple times, both in and out of the show, that Paul McGann's Doctor is in fact canon. And that point was driven home in the 50th anniversary short, The Night of the Doctor, when Paul McGann was finally able to film his regeneration scene, cementing him into the Doctor's timeline. And, even more importantly, cementing his entire Big Finish audio series as official canon, as just before he regenerates, he says the names of all of his Big Finish companions up to that point: Charlie, Kariz, Lucy, Tamsin, and Molly. It was actually this episode, and the realization that the audios were now canon, that made me start to listen to the Big Finish audios in the first place, and I really can't recommend them enough, particularly those of the 8th and 6th Doctors, but that's a topic for another video. In conclusion, the Doctor Who movie is a 90-minute episode of Doctor Who that has nearly been forgotten, but it introduced one of the all-time great Doctors, and in less than 2 hours, you can watch the entirety of the 8th Doctor's television run, from his introduction to his regeneration. So please don't sleep on the 8th Doctor.
The universe hangs by such a delicate thread of coincidences, it's useless to meddle with it.
Right. So just give me a few pointers.
In the description, I will include links to Part 1 and Part 2 of the Doctor Who movie on the site Dailymotion, as well as a link to The Night of the Doctor. And if you like those, be sure to check out Big Finish to hear the great stories that they produce for the 8th Doctor and his companions. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the Doctor Who movie and the 8th Doctor. And don't forget to like and subscribe to DoctorGeek for new videos every week. As always, thank you for being my companions on this journey today. I'm the Doctor. Bye for now.